actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Doug Stewart here to tell you about my man Smooth at smoothtickets.com. Smooth's got the tickets for everything that you need in the world of sports, concerts, or theater. I don't care what it is. I don't care where it's at in this great land of ours. My man Smooth at smoothtickets.com, he got them tickets. I'm telling you, boxing, baseball, NBA, NFL, country music concerts, hard rock, hip-hop, theater, Broadway, he's got them all. And if he don't have them, there ain't none. I'm telling you, smoothtickets.com. Once again, that's smoothtickets.com, or give him a call at 404-374-1150. Once again, that's 404-374-1150. You got to tell him, though, that I sent you. You got to tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Once again, smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. Yeah!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Coming up next, the Sports and More Show with my man Big Vince Wright and Reg, a.k.a. Dollars and Cents, here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. And then following them, the debut of the Nathan Ivey Show. So make sure you stay locked and loaded and listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network all day long today. We kind of got like all day stew, kind of, sort of, just with the other shows, all right? So stay tuned following me. Once again, the Sports and More Show and then the Nathan Ivey Show. I can't wait to hear the Nathan Ivey Show, man, for the first time on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I can't wait to hear both shows. But Nathan Ivey being the new show, really keeps it real. Does a show out of the Cincinnati, Ohio area. So around 2 p.m. Eastern time today, the Nathan Ivey Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Let's talk a little bit of football, though. Yeah! Let me give you the Funky Four. The 4 biggest games this week in the NFL, or the 4 games I'm looking most forward to. Game number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Detroit Lions. The Eagles were the most surprising success story during the opening month of the season, dismissing 3 opponents by a combined score of 92-27. Despite starting rookie quarterback Carson Wentz, that included a 34-3 beatdown of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were on bye week this past week, so I want to see if they can keep this train going as they take on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. That's game number 4 that I'm looking most forward to. Coming in at game number 3, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, as far as the Funky 4 biggest games in the league this weekend, the Cincinnati Bengals on the road taking on the Dallas Cowboys. As in recent years, injuries are hitting the Cowboys real hard at key positions. You know about Romo, you know about Leal Kyle, the the left guard for the Dallas Cowboys, Tyron Smith, Chaz Green, Orlando Scandrick, but they're still playing great football with only one loss this year, and it's all because of Dak Prescott. The Bengals, solid win last week. I want to see if the Bengals, which is definitely a good team, can kind of stop this Cowboy train and this Dak Prescott train. So very interested in that. CBS, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time, the Bengals on the road taking on the Dallas Cowboys, game number 3. Game number 2 in my Funky Four this weekend is the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans on the road taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The concept of next man up has been tested repeatedly in both Houston and Minnesota, with the Texans star defender J.J. Watt out of the lineup with that lower back problem that he's having. And you know what's going on in Minnesota. Teddy Bridgewater, man, quarterback for the Vikings, out for the year. And so who comes in? Sam Bradford. They make a deal with the Eagles. They bring in Sam Bradford, and what do you know? The Minnesota Vikings are undefeated right now. I also want to see if they can keep it going on. Texans on the road taking on the undefeated Vikings. And the big game, the number one game I'm looking most forward to this weekend is the Atlanta Falcons on the road taking on the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry. Wow. Who would have thunk it? The Falcons offense comes into the game on a high. Quarterback Matt Ryan threw for 503 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers in Week 4. Julio Jones had 300 yards receiving. This is the first time in NFL history a quarterback-wide receiver duo had 500 yards passing and 300 yards receiving in the same game. It's just unbelievable, man. Broncos 4-0, Falcons 3-1. Broncos, even though they've lost, or even though they don't have Peyton Manning, they've gone undefeated and are 4-0 right now. They're a 5-point favorite against the Falcons in Denver at Mile High Stadium. No Trevor Siemian, or there's still not word on Trevor Siemian yet, who last week got injured. We will see. This is the best game of the weekend on Fox, 4 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. The Falcons, the upstart Falcons, taking on the Denver Broncos. And there you have it, the Funky Four. Yes. There you have it. We're going to see, we're going to kind of get a first-hand glance at if the Falcons are for real or for fake, if they're for real or for gazy. I said it. When thank you for listening to the Doug Shore Show. I said it when we got back from the weekend, man. I mean, I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to get my pressure up on the Atlanta Falcons, who has done this many, many times, where they started out good and then they just fell apart. The most recent example of that was last year. They started out 6-1, and then they ended up the year, I believe, 8-8. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to get too happy yet. Just not going to do it yet. Let me read a couple of your messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Yes, sir. From Cornelia Small, good shout out for the Falcons, but the question is, did they overdo it? And now is a downhill for the rest of the season. I don't know if you can ever overdo it and just having a great game. But I tell you what, they will probably, still be on cloud 9. I always talk about how football and sports in general are, they're kind of like, and I can't even remember the term that I always use right now. I'm drawing a blank on that. But it's an emotional game. It's an emotional game where you have highs and lows, and they had such a high this past week with the game against Carolina where Matt Ryan and Julio Jones just went off. It's going to be hard to come down from that cloud, man, and get ready to play the world champion Denver Broncos. We'll definitely keep our eye on that. From Big L in the chat room says, yes, Bama. What was the score last year, Bama, in Alabama? Let's see, who do we got here? From Big John B, Falcons equals Cincinnati Reds. Do enough to get your hopes up just to set you up for a tragic letdown. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. Somebody mentioned something in here about Terrelle Pryor. Let me quickly mention that story before we get out of here. Terrelle Pryor, in an interview, reveals the advice that was given to him by Randy Moss. Here's a quote from Terrelle Pryor talking about making the change and accepting the change to play wide receiver. He says, I just looked at it like this. I love the game and I love playing that position, but at the same time, talking about quarterback, at the same time, I have more love for the game than that position. Pryor said on PFT Live, ultimately, this game, it just means everything to me, so I just had to really humble myself and know, hey, you're not good enough to play at that position, which I disagree with, but I guess that's part of the process for him making this change. He goes on to say, so let's go and try and do something else. It takes a lot of humbling of yourself, and it takes you to man up and really just own up to you didn't do it well, and it's time to move forward and try something else that maybe you might be decent at. That's just where my mind was. He revealed that Randy Moss gave him the advice. He says, tunnel vision, Pryor said, stay in tune, block out anything outside, and keep that tunnel vision and go forward. No matter what happens, sometimes games are going to go bad. Sometimes things are going to happen that you don't want. And he said, just keep on going forward because it's a long season and there's a lot of plays to be made. He said, just make sure when the ball comes to you, make the play, period. That's the type of stuff we talk about all the time. Praise God for Randy Moss. Based on what Terrelle Pryor is doing out there right now as a wide receiver, he's going to set himself up to make a gazillion dollars. They're talking about $35 to $40 million in guaranteed money at his position at wide receiver. That's what he's projected to make if he continues on this path he's taking right now. And listen, I said it before. I commend the man for making this decision to change the wide receiver. And he said the politically correct things in this story about why he moved positions. But let's be honest. The reason he changed positions is so that he can continue to get that money. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. He changed positions primarily, I believe, so that he can continue to get that money. You know, whatever money that may be. NFL checks, base salaries for players, I think, are like $600,000 a year. You're not going to make $600,000 a year. I don't care being some type of liaison for Ohio State or going back to your hometown and working in the factory or whatever. You're not going to get that type of money. So Terrelle Pryor did the responsible, smart thing. He's a phenomenal athlete. And whether they hating on him or not and not giving him a fair opportunity to play quarterback, he just needs to continue to get that money. Ball award to Terrelle Pryor. Let's get out of here. Get that money, boy. Get that money. Get the money. Get the money.
You gonna eat
yes,
your
sir.
beans and
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's your grown man Gator.
Yeah. And thank you for joining me on the show today. Shouts out to my producers, Waterhead, Walter, Poe Politicking, my engineers, Dwayne Bassan and Gerald Oliveri. Thank you. I appreciate everything y'all do. A shouts out to my man, Pink Gator, for this hot-ass track right here.
I'm a cute boots on shirt top man.
Yeah. A special shouts out to all of the Stewies, man. Without you, there would be no me. Even to you, Big Apple Bastard and Loose Neck Side. Thank you. Yeah. All right, coming up next, Sports and More with Vincent Reds, followed by the Nathan Ivey Show right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. I'll be back Monday, same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Pass the word on the show. Be careful in them streets. Peace.
You know how it is when you roll with the Q's. You know how it is when you roll with the Q's. You know how it is when you roll with the Q's. You know how it is when you roll with the Q's. Yeah, I just wanna live my life from a cute side.